What's up there guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Derail Valley. So we are in the midst of a realistic difficulty playthrough. In the last episode we actually reconfigured our main locomotive situation by adding 2 DE2s to our Slug. Now we've got 4 DE2s currently connected to the Slug and they're somewhere over there behind this lot. In fact, you can probably just see them peeking through the trees there. We've got 3 jobs picked out and I'm going to take a look at those now. So please do grab yourself a drink and let's hit the rails. Right then guys, first things first, let's take a look at those jobs that I was looking at the end of the last episode. So, I picked out these 3 jobs and it was with reason because we do need to go to a goods factory in town. Now, if you remember a couple of episodes, I did mention, and I've mentioned it a couple of times actually, that during the realistic difficulty playthrough, the settings that we applied don't allow you to have a full allotment of tools available to you to install things like, well, any type of gadget really. So we need to go and get some of the tools. Now, in our inventory, we've currently got the hammer and we've got our steam bits and bobs, but what we don't have is things like the drill, we don't have the soldering iron, we don't have the crimping tool, so we'd need to go and get those from goods factory in town. So good job, we've got some money on hand to start off with, but secondly, we're going there. So I was also thinking about other jobs that we'd add on and sort of complement what we're doing, and I looked at steel mill here and also City West. So the map, the route that we'd be following on the map is to go from Machine Factory down to City West to drop off those empties, head across to Steel Mill and then up to Goods Factory in town. So that would be not only a nice little run, but it would also be a good test of our new configuration with our 4 DE2s and the Slug. So that should be quite fun, I think. Now, we do have a bit of weight on hand. We've got 119 tonnes there, 336 and only 66 tonnes there. So it'll be a nice little test of the power available to us with this setup. But also, one of these jobs can't be taken just yet because it is a shunting job. So we're going to need to load up that job and get paid for it as well for shunting it. And once we've loaded it, then it'll be ready to go as a new job. So that's the plan. Now, we do need to get started with the shunting job first, so I'm going to pick this one up. The other thing to consider here is we're talking about taking 3 jobs. Well, we need to unlock the Concurrent 2 license, so we're going to do that first. So let's get ourselves in here and let's take a look at it. So if I move down to Concurrent Orders 2, it's going to cost 20,000. It's going to increase our insurance copay by 10,000 and reduce the time bonus by 5%, but there is a prerequisite that you have the Concurrent Orders 1 license, which you've already got. So that's absolutely fine. The only thing that we're going to have to do is to clear our outstanding fees. Wow. So we've run up some fees, and actually these are still going up because these locomotives are switched on. Right, we'll do the shunting bit first, and then we will clear the fees and get cracking. So that will obviously incur a little bit more fees, but it's alright, we've got money to spare. So yeah, let's do the shunting bit first and then we'll get ourselves back over there after shutting the locos down, and then we'll actually be able to clear them. So this job is 2 pickups. It's a load and prepare a train with scrap metal for departure. 2 pickups, one of them's here. One set of the 3 is here, so that's those 3. We've also got a bunch of empties there. Now, they're the ones that are going to City West. The other 3, if you remember, are these ones here. So they need to be also picked up. And these empties are in the way as well. So, we've got a couple of slight issues. First things first, we'll get over to our locos and take a look at just how far away they are, for starters, but they are still running. So I'm sure some of you are saying, why on earth did you leave them running? Well, somebody mentioned actually in the comment section that you do run up a little bit of extra damage when you're starting these babies up. So I am just checking a couple of things. I'm checking the parking brake's off and the cutouts are set correctly. I'm going to go across here, parking brake again, and check this one. This one, yeah, cutout is isolated, and I'm just going to hop up here, and this will be our lead loco for this part. So I'm going to open that, de-isolate that cutout, put some lights on because they tend to go off once you've saved the game. Look at a bit of power and get ourselves moving forward a bit here. So you can hear those 4 locos working in unison there, along with the slug. What a sound. Right, I'm going to direct us into that far lane first. We'll pick up those ones. Just going to pair up for the remote like that. But yeah, also to note, guys, it might look like it's a bit dull and dingy, but it's actually only the morning time here. So it's what, 8:30 now? So really, time is not really moved that much this day because of the fact that I've got the time setting set to 12-hour day, so everything's going to take a bit of time. Right, let's hop down a sec. Okay, so that was a nice heavy push. A little bit heavier than what I wanted. Do tend to find that is the case usually with the DE6, but obviously we've got quite a few DE2s here now, and that is also providing a bit of a bump there. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do, guys, because it's playing on my conscience a little bit. I'm going to go and clear those fees now and unlock that Concurrent 2 license, because maybe conscience is the wrong word. Whoa. It's certainly in my mind, though, that we are basically costing ourselves more money than what we need to by not clearing the fees now. I like to manually service everything now that we've unlocked that license, so that is certainly what we'll do. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just stick a bit of parking brake on there just to hold everything while we dash over here. So I'm not entirely too sure whether I put the train brake on there or whether I've still got it on. Oh yeah, I do. Right, okay. Let's clear these fees off now. So after we manually serviced last time, we would have had a little bit of fees available to pay because of the fact that you've got to clear your you've got to clear the emissions. Now I can't remember if I did that or not, but anyway, I can't remember. Anyway, we'll crack on. So it's saying there, pay your fees to reduce your remaining co-pay to $705. So we've chunked into that co-pay quite a bit. We're going to stick this in. So really, we could have ran them up further and had the insurance pay. We are just literally just clearing our co-pay there. We don't have any fees further outstanding though. So let's go down to the license that we want. We're going to stick the wallet in. And there we go. It's done. Right, so now we have the capacity to take, well, basically, as many orders as we want at any time, as opposed to previously where we could only take 2 maximum. Right, great stuff. Now what we're going to encounter is the fact that all parking brakes are going to be on. The cutouts are going to be isolated because these locos have now had the equivalent of another service. So let's do a good job of firing them up. You see the parking brakes are on. So the lights are still on though, which is a curious one, isn't it? But obviously the lights are not involved in the service. So we're looking good here. Oh, did I did release that parking brake. No, I didn't. Thankfully, I checked. Let's have a quick look over here. We'll release that one and fire this one up. So we're all fired up with 4 locos, and I've just pulled that isolation and to turn that off. So now we're going to reverse. And remembering that these are empty, so they're not going to cause us any grief. So what I'm going to do here is send them down there. We're going to have to come back and go down here because, well, that's the loading lane, but we need to go down the other end basically. So what I'll do is throw that, and then we'll just have a quick look on here. And what I'll do is I'll, whoops, go to the actual page that we need, which is this one. So that's that switch. So we're now directed to go into C yard, and in order to get them where we want that first switch set like that. Now I'm also going to do something here. I'm going to do that, release the brakes. I'm going to open this off, take this off, sorry. Because we're just going to give them a bit of a push, really. Send them on their way. So I'm going to hop up on here as well, because I'll be manually activating the brake by opening that valve down there to let the brake pressure out. Once I've got these going at a decent speed to get them into... Whoa, whoa, what the... What happened there? Didn't like to notch 2 on the power. It's not a DE6, is it? Alright, that should do it. Alright, I want them to stop because I want to take them down there next, so hopefully they'll halt for me. Right, so we're taking these cars into this loading bay. I'm going to see if I can drop down here. All right. Okay, cool. They're in there. So brakes are now on because we've opened up the valve and let all the brake pressure out. That's fine. So what I'll do now is just move our locos back a bit. The other way to have done this, of course, we could have fired them down the centre and then gone to the other end, and yeah, we could have gone that. We could have been the ones to go down the loading bay. All right, we're now going to utilise B and. There we go. Allow us to go straight down the centre. Right, I trust that I've set everything correctly there. So we're going to dash down. So those cars are in there. Half of the load is into the loading bay. Half of the empty cars, should I say, not the load. And then we're going to grab the other 3 off the end. Bit of an awkward one, but it's those 3. So we need to grab those off the end there and then push them into the loading bay, connect all the cars up and load them. But our loco wants to be all the way down here, basically. Oh, she's flying a little bit. Here she comes. Just knock a bit of that speed off there. Here she is. Right, so we are again now coming into Sea Yard, but we're coming in from this end. And this is set correctly because our 3 cars that we need out of there are there, basically. So, good stuff. Okay, so what we'll do is head over to where we're actually going. And we'll wait on the car itself. But yeah, here she comes. It's a shame, really, that we've had to do it this way because we've got our empties on the other end of this set. So it's like, you know, those empties that are going to City West really could have been already linked up here. But really, I mean, we don't know where these cars are going to end up once we've loaded them. So again, too much there. This is obviously going to be an ongoing thing, isn't it? I like to put a bit of power on with the brake on because you can just helps maneuver. It's always a thing with the DE6 that. Right, there we go. Alright, good stuff. Man, the rain is just coming down, isn't it? Thing is, once you're locked in like this as well, the weather settings that I'm using, we have got dynamic weather, but it is a thing where it's kind of it does drag out the weather for longer periods, so you get a more realistic cycle. So once it clears, it should stay clear for a while, but it's just yeah, one of those things really. Right, I'm gonna hop down. Whoa, hold on. Alright, there we go. Right, we'll go and validate this order and then we can start loading. Set that ready to move. And yeah, we've got the order ready for a bit of shunting action. So let's get it sorted. 2 pickups. We've already picked them up. We're going to load them. And then we're dropping them off at B2O. We'll take a look at B2O in a sec. So there we go. All 6 cars are loaded. So B2O, yeah, we're in C, aren't we? So B2O is going to be this one here. Right. So let's think about this logically. We've got a lane here that we can drop off in. Which end do we want these cars to be on? Well, we've got 3 jobs in total that we're taking. This job is going to sit bang in the middle. Because it's the second drop off. The City West cars are going to go first. So, with that in mind, and I'm trying to think which was the other job. It's this one here, which is completely set up nicely. I'm going to put them in. I'm going to put them in at this end because I still need to slap those cars on the end. So what I'll do is, it actually doesn't make any. The only reason I'm putting them in this end because I'm already at this end. I could go round the other side and then put them in there, but then I'd have to come back round to get those empties because they are here, but they are blocked at that end by well, 1 car. Yeah, 1 car's blocking at that end, so that's what I'm saying. I'm going to have to come to this end anyway to load up. A bit of weight on now, by the way, guys, now that the steel's actually, the scrap metal, sorry, should I say, is loaded in. Actually, you know, just had a thought here. To make life even easier, we could grab these cars first. Seeing as we're moving over there anyway. We've got time. The time bonus for this job's like ages. It's 52 minutes. We've already like just about finished, apart from dropping it off, so as those empties are going to be drop off number 1, they're going to be right at the rear of the train. I furthest away from the loco, and we're heading out in the opposite direction. So if you don't know the layout, it might not make sense until I've said that, but see if we're actually yeah, so these cars are going to be at the end. Those are going to be in front of it, and then the others are going to be in front of it. It's a shame these are here, to be fair. Alright, there we go. Alright, so this set here is 6-1. And so it was in the last video that we actually established that those are the cars that are going through to here. So again, pulling these forward, attach them to the this set here that we've just put in place. Right, there we go. So these cars are now in the correct order. So we'll pull this lot out, put our shunting job where it needs to be so we can get paid for that. And then we can literally crack on. Good little test of the weight here as well, see how she gets on. She should be absolutely fine with this though. So we are going up and beyond the other switch to take us back into B yard, basically. And I said this a couple of episodes ago, but it is a bit of a shame, really, that you are required to put this order somewhere before you can just take it. It would be better if there was some sort of joined up orders job, like, can't remember what I called it now, complete job or something like that, where you would actually fulfill the shunting job as part of the overall job, if that makes sense. Like, so say for example, if you were doing this the other way around, where you were bringing a haul somewhere and then offloading it, you could do it all as part of the same job and kind of have a license for that as well. I can't remember the name that I gave it now a couple of episodes ago when I mentioned it, but it was the coal power plant episode. Alright, are these cars in? Whoops. Not quite. We're pushing those other ones now, that's okay. Right, I can't remember offhand if you can leave these connected up As long as you've got a parking brake on, you might need to uncouple, I think. See what it says. No, it's allowed it. 21.5. So that's done. Nice bit of payment there. So, the only other thing that I want to take a look at is to see where those forestry trailers are going. Harbour, yeah. No good to us. Right. Right, there's the steel mill job now that's been populated. So, that means we've got this going to City West, which I'm going to put into my inventory, in my backpack. I'm also, a hotbar, sorry, should I say. I've got the steel mill job, which I'm going to put in. And then we've got the goods factory, which will be the last drop off. I think they've gone in the wrong order, though. I don't know why it's done that. Yeah, so 4-7. I did press 3, but it... There we go. So that's in my hotbar. That's job 3. Because it's the most rear one. They're still the wrong way around. And then steel mill. And then goods factory. Alright. So, yep, 6-1 is the correct code for those babies. We've then got steel mill. Are they moving? No. 4-7. Yep. And then those other empties. Right, we can pull this slot back out of here now and get it ready and into position. Hold on a sec, what is going on? Which parking brake did I put on? This one. I thought it was that end one. Anyway. Okay, so I'm going to... I'll pop these cars in this middle lane, or any lane really. Any free lane. In fact, this is the only free one, I think. In order to go down the other end. In fact, we can slot them right on the end of these bad boys. 5-1. Yeah, we can do that straight away. So those are the empties going to food factory in town. These are the ones that we're taking. Yeah, once we've got these connected up here, that will make life a lot easier, because then all we've got to do is go forward and go down the loading bay to get ourselves to the other end ready to set off. That weight there is just isn't that a little bit too much, isn't it? Wow, what's going on? Okay, let's connect this up. Like so. Get those brakes connected. Get that done. I'm going to leave the parking brake in place, which will be this one down here. I'm just going to check that it's on. It sure is. So that's going to help. Now we just need to, like I said, disconnect. And I hope there's enough space for us to actually get down and through C yard here. Dashing for my life. Sun's coming out by the looks of things. Keep it moving. All right, yep, we're all clear. Hasn't stopped raining yet, though. Wow, that was a carry on. Right, we're gonna pull past this switch. Oh. So we're going into that lane there. That moved before I'd even touched it. Alright, we're all set to go, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, please do hit the like button. And yeah, I really hope that you had a good time watching that, because in the next episode we're going to be setting off. And that's going to be fun. I want to see how we get on with this weight. The setup is not something I've ever tried before. I have no idea how it's going to perform. And it should be quite interesting, I think. So yeah, join me for that one. If you want to see more videos like this, please do hit the subscription button, if I can say it. Yeah, hit the notification bell to be notified of upcoming videos. Hit me up in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Please do take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you guys again soon.